Is that good mukbang?
Mukbang.
Alright, first order of business. This is our first mukbang. Ever. And hopefully first of many.
We've been watching Mommy Tang. Mommy Tang, what up? I'm like addicted to her mukbangs.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make everything that she makes.
So...
There's no redos in this.
Yeah, this is gonna be weird because we're used to being able to redo things.
Derek, he likes to cut out like everything that I say. I'll say funny shit, or we'll have like a little tiff or something, and it'll be funny and cute, and he just cuts it all out. And, like,
I cut it out. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our world famous potato fries. And why we were gonna do that? Yes, we posted probably like 5 or 6 recipe videos, but we wanted to start with something that, you know, we could obviously do.
That is in high demand. We're gonna eat 5 pounds of potatoes today in front of you guys and talk about things.
Mukbang stuff.
So
I don't know. We're gonna talk about anything.
I need to start shopping.
Alright. I don't know, I kind of feel weird having to like talk because normally like with something like this we just do the recipe and just kind of like we make it like a minute long. So doing something like this where we actually sit down and chat for like 30 minutes. Like people love these mukbangs for so long.
And I like just looking at them in the community, I'm like, this is actually a perfect thing for high carb vegans to do because we all make what I ate today videos all the time and it's like, oh, here's what I ate today and blah 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 blah, but we never like explain how we make it and what we eat, and like, you know, I have the fancy like recipe videos or whatever, but
and it's kind of like you guys get to sit down and eat with us and learn our little tricks of the trade and how we do certain things, and I think that's actually quite useful.
I just really like the idea of it because I don't know, just watching Mommy Tang and stuff, I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So we have an array of spices here. We're gonna make curry fries and we're gonna make my famous like best seasoning ever fries. So the curry ones are just gonna have pretty much curry powder and some salt on them. And then the other ones are gonna have onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. And these are
salt.
I mean, these are organic potatoes. What do we get them at Safeway for like $5 or something?
Something like that.
Something like that.
And Hannah is she's really like mastered this. Ever since she's done. Did I show you how to do potato fries? Like on the rack? I think I showed her how to do them on the rack. And that really kind of just like revolutionized the whole potato making.
I feel like everyone makes them that way now because it really cooks them evenly, and you don't have to worry about flipping them or them getting stuck to parchment paper. Oh shit.
Oh man.
Them getting stuck to parchment paper. That one's got hair all over it.
Yeah,
just throw that shit away.
Not good.
And stuff like that, you know? So I've learned a few things along the way. I've learned a higher temperature is actually better, so like 450 for 30 minutes. But I've also learned the key to that is you don't really want to turn the oven on until you want to put the fries in. I don't know why, but every time I turn the oven on and let it preheat and do the whole 450 thing,
did it just get burnt?
They just get burnt.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That's how I've always cooked mine. And the reason why I always cook them like that is because I turn the oven on after I put everything in there. It's because like you literally don't want to be trying to put the fries, because normally what I do is I put the fries directly on the rack in the oven, but we got these fancy cooling racks here.
And everybody says like, oh, you can't use those in the oven because they're not oven safe and blah blah
these
blah.
Things
blah.
right here.
They're oven safe. Like none of the coating has ever come off.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
So they're technically cooling racks, but we use them for baking on.
Yeah.
And that way we can just put the fries right on here and you don't have any issues with any of them, you know, falling through. Because when you put them on the rack in the oven, sometimes maybe you don't get it on like properly and then they just kind of like fall off. They even move a little bit while they're cooking just because they do kind of like their size does change. So I definitely find that the on the rack or on the cooling rack method is like the best for cooking potato fries because you do get that even cook. You don't have to worry about flipping them over, and there's many different, like I think, what would I do?
It's all in the technique.
I would always cook them at like 400, 425, and then put them in there for like 35-40 minutes, and that would be like, I would start cooking them I would start that time right from when the oven would be turned on. So have all that time to preheat, and then, I don't know, maybe it's actually only cooking at the full temperature for like 20 or 25 minutes maybe.
So I put the seasoning in, maybe like a teaspoon, and then shook them around. See how perfectly coated they get? And I don't have to, I do it this way because I'm lazy.
I'm gonna throw this out. This is
and
gross.
I don't want to get seasoning and crap all over my hands. So I just put some seasoning in, shake it around, put some more in, shake it around.
Yeah.
And then just put them on the tray.
And then we put them on the rack.
So literally I eat these fries almost, I would say at least 4 times a week. Like it's a straight up addiction. It's not even funny at this point. And it's like one of the healthiest, cheapest meals you can get. I could probably eat half a bag by myself, maybe a little bit less. So a 5-pound bag maybe lasts me 3 meals, maybe for dinner or whatever.
2 meals, 2 or 3?
Probably 3, just for me. And that's like, I mean, $1.50 meals. So it's so cheap. So people are always like, oh, it's so expensive and hard to be vegan. It's like,
Yeah, but you can even get potatoes for like even cheaper, for
You
like
can-
30-40 cents a pound.
yeah, if you don't
So-
want organic.
Yeah.
I would say though, I mean, if you really care about your health and you have the extra money, like, or potatoes are probably one of the most important foods to get organic. Because
I would say they're definitely very important.
potatoes, like strawberries, any other type of berry, just try and get them organic. You can buy bananas not organic. Greens, I would get organic. But it's not like you have to buy everything organic.
Yeah, it's definitely not a necessity. Like, we don't buy organic rice, but that's probably...
That's just because we really can't find it in bulk. Like, it's convenient buying it at Safeway. If we could get it at Safeway in bulk, I would buy organic.
Yeah.
I would just force him to. I don't really care. Like,
I always find, like, if you buy something in bulk as well, say you buy like a 50-pound bag of rice, then you don't feel like you're spending that much on it, because it's like, because you've already made that like initial like investment in it.
yeah.
So like when you're eating it, you don't necessarily think of it. But say you're always going there and buying like a 5-pound bag or a 10-pound bag, you're like, man, this rice is like double the price or triple the price of the other
and then
stuff.
you're throwing away tons of plastic.
Yeah.
So these ones are literally my favorite. I don't even know how I thought of this, but this is the same seasoning that I use for hash browns and basically everything else in life.
Yeah.
So I just use a teaspoon of each of these, so onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika, and just kind of shake it around. People always ask if we put anything on the fries to make the seasoning stick, but they're wet when you cut them, so the
Yeah.
seasonings just stick to it. You don't need to put
Yeah, like you
anything
can
on.
probably see, like, you might be able to see the glisten on the fries here, but they're very wet right now. So you don't really have to coat them with anything, no oil or anything like that. So I think like with these mukbangs, we're gonna try to keep them like relatively healthy as well. Because like most of them are like people eating like just the worst shit ever.
If you go search on YouTube, it's like Trisha Paytas eating fucking KFC and shit. Like, nobody wants to see that shit. And we want them to be helpful and stuff, obviously, as well. So it's like...
Maybe we'll do like a Chipotle one every once in a while. Chipotle is like a good option, but it will have like oil and stuff in it.
When I go to
It'll
New
just
York,
be
I'm going to do a Beyond Sushi one.
Beyond
like
Sushi?
an epic one.
Nice.
But it's so easy to eat healthy. And like, I know people are going to say stuff about the salt, but literally, salt is not bad for you. Salt is life.
Salt is life.
Like...
Where most people go wrong is that they're eating, you know, the very high-fat foods, the animal-based foods, milk, meat, chicken, fish, dairy. Like, those are the foods that you want to try to avoid. Like,
people,
not bananas or shit like that. Like, those are good foods.
And people will come to, like, you know, a high-carb, low-fat vegan diet, and from a standard American diet, which is very fatty and salty, and the flavors are really rich. And, you know, they try to eat no salt and tons of, you know, just very bland foods, and they don't stick to it because it's boring. Like, salt Salt makes stuff just taste so much better.
Like in the Instant Pot book, it's like you take a so-so recipe, you put like a teaspoon of salt in it, and it's like, boom, it's a game winner right there.
Yeah.
Like it just takes recipes from...
Changes the game.
It does. They're so much better. These smell really good.
They're the best. You have to try this combo. It's so good. It's just my favorite thing in the world.
So these guys here, they are waiting to go to the dog park and to get fed, so that's why they're hanging around us right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna pop these in the oven. Like I said, I try and put them in the center usually, but as centered as I can get them. And then we put them in, and then we'll turn the oven on. We're gonna feed them, run to the dog park, and then we'll be back to do the rest of the mukbang.
Start the mukbang.
Alright, so we did about 30 minutes for these, but usually I just cook one tray at a time, and I put them just like on the middle rack and they cook perfectly, but these ones are on the bottom. You can kind of see that they got a little bit crispy, and they cooked a lot slower. These ones were on the top, so in 30 minutes these are like perfectly done. They're perfectly golden. So depends on your oven. You guys just have to like, you know, screw around with your ovens. It can depend on your elevation and the brand of your oven and all kinds of crap.
All kinds of different stuff. So as always, well not as always, but we drink a lot of LaCroix.
Pretty much all the time.
Yeah, we kind of like binged on it for a while. We took a break from it, and now we're back hard on the LaCroix.
So these are the curry ones, and those are the Hannah's special seasoning ones.
And we got all different types of sauces as well. So we got Trader Joe's all natural barbecue sauce, sriracha, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, which is a huge freaking, this thing is amazing.
Got ketchup. My favorite mix is mixing ketchup, this, and then a pinch of sriracha, and it's like the best
guys.
flavor
Chill.
ever.
Yeah, that looks really good.
And then you just kind of swirl it around.
Oh yeah.
We'll put the barbecue sauce in this one.
Put these off to the side.
These are all vegan. People say that like this one isn't vegan because it has Worcestershire sauce in it. But if you read the ingredients on this, it has it in parentheses, and the Worcestershire sauce does not have whatever, I think it's anchovies that's normally in it or something. Like it doesn't have it in that one.
So it is a vegan sauce.
What I do to like cool my fries down too is I just take like 5 of them and cut them in half, and then I'm just too impatient. Like I just can't wait when I make them. So good.
Oh my goodness.
These ones are like perfectly cooked. Are these ones cooked good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all in the salt, I tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you gotta have like the proper sauce as well. Like, these are really good on their own, but the sauce just takes it like to the next level.
Yeah.
And you're always looking for like next level stuff. Well, this is like next level potato fries.
Yeah, this is like professional potato fry eating here. You could eat this every day and be healthy as fuck.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people talk shit about potatoes, even in the vegan community. People are like, oh, you can't like sustain yourself on your potatoes. Civilizations have sustained themselves on potatoes for a very long period of time.
If there was one food that I could eat for the rest of my life, it'd be potatoes. And I think just because they make me feel so good. And you can season them so many different ways. Like, of course I would miss pizza, vegan hamburgers, and like all that stuff, but you can't go wrong with fries, man.
And potatoes are a more complete food than rice. Like, I love rice, just for how simple it is. Like, you just have to throw it in the rice cooker and it's just done. Like, you usually have to put some effort into actually making and preparing potatoes, but I don't know, they're just, yeah, it's definitely worth it.
So I don't know what happened because like when I went to Portland, I had this fry making thing down perfectly, right? Like they never burnt, they always turned out like these. I don't know what Derek did, but when I come back, cooking my fries the same exact way, and they always like end up burnt like this. I don't know what the fuck you were doing with the oven.
I don't know.
I figured it out though. It's like the coil on the bottom just started getting like way too hot or something. Like hotter than normal.
I don't even think oh yeah, I did use the oven when you got it, but.
You made fries and stuff.
Yeah.
So, we don't really know what to talk about in the mukbangs. I mean, I guess we'll just talk about whatever like comes to mind, but it'd be cool if you guys gave us topics for the next one and let us know what you want us to eat in the next one and make.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we want to make videos you guys want to see. Yeah.
And you guys might give ideas for things that, you know, we aren't necessarily going to think about. These are just so good.
The salt is like key though.
Yeah.
The salt makes them taste like any other fry you would ever get. And it's like when you were a kid, you probably wish that you could eat fries for every day for dinner.
Mm-hmm. Like for some of the parents out there, it's like you can give these to your kids and know that they're going to be a lot better than the ones that you buy in the store. Because those ones are just loaded with all kinds of stuff. Like the only ingredients in these fries are potatoes,
Seasonings.
and seasonings. There's no preservatives or anything kind of crazy like that. No oils. Excuse me.
He's gonna burp this whole time. People are not gonna like that.
The burping? We always lose at least 5 subscribers per burp.
It's like 98% women.
But all those 98% women also burp as well. It's just that they hide it a lot better than we do.
I just feel like guys kind of like let their bodily functions just go. Like they give no fucks, you know? Like no, you know, whatever about the people around them. Like they don't give a fuck. Women aren't just gonna rip ass in the middle of like a dentist office, you know? Derek would. He'd be like, what? The bodily function. It's normal.
In certain situations, like say you're at somebody's wedding, right? And like the bride is walking down the aisle, like you don't let a huge ripper go. You have some common sense. But it's like if Hannah's sitting in the room, I'm sitting there, it's like I'm just gonna let him go. Like who cares? It's just a fire.
It's so
it
funny.
Happens.
Funniest thing ever. You guys have to let us know if your dogs do this, but like Bubba, he'll get gassy and obviously he can't like push out a fart, right? Like he can't just rip ass, like do it like Derek could or whatever. So it'll just come out of him and it scares the shit out of him every time, and he jumps up and he turns around, looks at his butt thinking like, what the fuck just happened, you know?
Like, what happened behind me, right? And it's just like...
And then he'll come sit by me because he's so terrified. He has no idea what just happened. So funny.
So funny.
But it's always just this little tiny...
Dewey does the same as well, but Bubba's kind of been gassy lately.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I make their food the same every single time. So... We could have a Dewey and Bubba mukbang. They could just eat the whole thing.
My brother and I, as kids, like, we literally, like, recorded our farts onto a tape. Like, this is back when we had, like, cassette players.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
and we made like a fart tape, and it was just like a collection of our farts, and this is like what kids do at that age. It was hilarious.
I don't think that that's what kids do at that age. I never did
At that age? Well, you weren't really living then.
I guess not.
So it's like mukbang is almost like bonding time for us as well.
We never really eat together. We never eat together. We always eat in bed. And switch with me. You're eating all the good ones. These are Hannah's fries. We always eat in bed and we're always watching something on YouTube or whatever. I don't know. I've just been obsessed with watching Mommy Tang. I want to go to dinner at Mommy Tang's house. If you guys don't watch Mommy Tang, like, I don't know what.
Where does she live?
No idea.
We can
I'm
do
about to figure it out though and just show up and like knock on her door.
like, we're here for the mukbang.
She'd be like, oh, come on in. Her daughter's so cute too. I don't know what her name is, but I think it's the youngest one because all the other ones are usually in school. She has such a charisma with the camera. She like looks at the camera and smiles, and she's very aware of the camera. She's probably only 3 years old. She's adorable.
Man, you put a lot of sriracha on there.
Get on my level, bitch.
Yeah, that's freaking hot.
Just more life in there.
Man, that is hot.
Sriracha is life. I put more life in this bowl. This one is so burnt. Such a wuss. So, do you guys remember? Oh my gosh.
It's the LaCroix.
Do you guys remember Tina Grundon, the, like Saved by Sugar girl? I went to just look up her YouTube the other day and it was gone. And her blog's gone, her Instagram's gone. There's somebody else that was gone that I looked up. Who was it? Oh, I can't think of it. I don't know. But people just disappear.
Yeah. I mean, social media isn't always like super friendly and stuff, and it's not the most comfortable thing to do in the world either. It's like a lot of people are really putting themselves out there. Like we put a lot of our life out there, not all of it, but
yeah,
enough to get like criticism and stuff like that. Not so much on like the vlog channel, but definitely on my unconventional living channel. That is like spicy hot. I'm dying over here. And like the comments you get, like people.
Because he does videos about nofap and masturbation and all kinds of weird shit.
And so when you talk about those topics and they're like kind of off the beaten path, no pun intended, like people will just like,
yeah,
just say the weirdest shit. And it's like gotten to the point where I'm just so used to the weirdest comments that you read it and you're just like,
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter. Like, my before and after video in the last, I think 6 or 8 months has gotten 1.5 million views. The comments I had on that video are ridiculous. And the ones that are like really bad are from men. And they're just so disgusting. Like, I don't even know. I don't even want to repeat them. But they're just very derogatory comments. Because I'm obviously in my after in that video, I'm in my like, underwear, right? And I'm talking about how much weight I've lost and what I look like now and blah, 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 blah. And this was, I made that video because like this was back when we were getting a shitload of slack online and everybody was making fun of us and people were saying I was still overweight and that I was photoshopping all my photos and I hadn't lost any weight and I was still really fat, so I was like, okay, well I'll make a video of myself in my underwear and show you guys that I have actually lost weight, right? So it kind of bit me in the ass because it's a very popular video, but there's lots of just rapey men that want to comment on it.
Yeah. When people have the anonymous
username?
Yeah, but the anonymity? Something like that. Of the internet? Like, people just say the dumbest shit ever.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah. Keyboard jockeys. So they just sit in their parents' basement, which I used to do, and just, like, hate on people.
Which
and,
I
like,
used to do.
a lot of those comments are, like, usually coming from, like, kids. They'll be, like, teenagers, like 13,
12.
14, 15, 16, 17. That's the main demographic for YouTube, right? It's not our age. Like, a good portion of it is, but the main demographic is, like, young kids. And so
I'd
they just
say
have this, like...
17 to 25 is the main demographic.
They have this, like, zealousness about them just for hating on people. And I don't know. I guess they've just never...
Well, look at
They've
some of
never
the most...
experienced the world.
I mean, some of the most popular channels on YouTube are people just hating on other people. Like, grade A, under A.
Grade A doesn't always hate on people, but...
He's not super popular, but like he's obviously not Roman Atwood or something, but... Or Casey Neistat or whatever. PewDiePie. But a lot of, like, what people want to see is drama and people just hating on other people, right?
People always love, like, the back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's like they're always expecting, like, if somebody makes a video, say somebody made a video about us, they're always like, when are you guys gonna do a response video? It's like, respond to what?
Yeah.
Well, somebody said this about you, and it's like, that's great.
But a lot of kids, I think a lot of young kids are learning that, you know, it's acceptable and they should make fun of other people and shit like that, you know? And that it's okay to do that. And, like, that they'll be more popular better because they're just trash talking other people. Because there's a lot of big YouTube channels that do that. Like, I'm talking 1 to 5 million subscriber counts. You have to eat these. I'm so full. Derek is my garbage disposal. I always will cook something, or if I don't like something, I'm just like, here, you have to eat this. We went to All You Can Eat Sushi.
Hey, what are you doing?
We went to All You Can Eat Sushi the other day. And usually I get the All You Can Eat, but this time I was using my brain and I'm like, I never ever eat enough to even cover the amount of money because it's $25 or something. So I was just like, I'm gonna just order 2 rolls and a cucumber salad and I'll be good, because we were going to ice cream place after. But usually when we would go to All You Can Eat Sushi, I would order like 8 rolls and eat 3 of them, and
you wouldn't order 8. You'd order like 5.
Maybe. I'd order 5, but then I'd order the salad and the soup, and I wouldn't like any
and
of
like
it.
The udon noodles.
I'd make
like,
Derek eat it.
She'd have like a bite of it and then be like, well, I don't really like it. And it's like, well, you ordered it, but I have to eat it.
Yeah. So that was a 5-pound bag of fries. Are you still hungry?
Like, I'm definitely content, but I'll probably eat more before I go to bed.
I'm pretty full.
Alright. Cool. Alright, so that was our very first mukbang.
Mukbang.
And we will definitely, maybe we'll do them like once a week or something.
Yeah, but let us know what you guys want to see. And let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, or like what you want us to make.
Or if there's anything specific, like questions that you have on our life or whatever. If you want Derek to stop fucking burping, let us know.
Less LaCroix that.
Let us know.
Alright, we'll catch you on the next
Mukbang.
Peace.